One aspect that has been consistent over the course of Australian cinema is the presence of the landscape. It informs the stories we tell and how we tell them. Over time, our relationship with the land and how we view it has changed. This is reflected in our movies. This comparison of the portrayal of landscapes will be using the 1975 film Picnic at Hanging Rock and the 2002 film Rabbit Proof Fence. Both narratives are adapted from novels and feature real-life landmarks in the film and the title. They also take place during a time long before the film was released, giving them both a historical aspect. However, Rabbit Proof Fence is a biographical work, while Picnic at Hanging Rock is pure fiction. This difference is also reflected in the genre of the films, as Picnic could be taken as a gothic horror film, while Rabbit is more of a road trip movie. Because of this genre difference, the environments change over the course of Rabbit, while it's typical of gothic horror to only stay in one specific place. The landscapes of both films shape their respective narratives. Both are presented as obstacles to the protagonist. Miranda and the girls are taken by the naturally formed hanging rock, which is the inciting incident of the film. This frames the film around the landmark. The rest of it focuses on the mystery behind the disappearances and its effect on the townsfolk. The landscape for Rabbit Proof Fence is physically harsher and more of a literal obstacle for Molly and the girls as they attempt to cross 2,000 kilometers on foot while evading authorities, using the Rabbit Proof Fence as one of their only guides. The similarities end when you look further into the specifics of the landscapes. For Rabbit Proof Fence, the harsh landscape could almost be seen as a boon for the girls. The difficult terrain makes it hard for the police to follow them. It even provides them with eggs in one scene. This shows a connection that the girls have to the land, but Hanging Rock is more explicitly mystical than the arid outback. Besides the missing people, this mystical side is shown through fades, which blend past images into a disorientating vision. Both environments affect the plot. A crucial difference between the films is how the environments are framed and shot. The opening shot of Rabbit Proof Fence is a bird's eye view of the desert outback. It shows how vast the landscape is, giving the audience a sense of scale which is needed to understand the plight of the girls. It also features many extreme wide shots to reinforce the size. One character in the film, however, changes the shot types when he's on screen. Neville, or Mr. Devil as he's called, is framed as the villain for Rabbit Proof Fence, a personification of the institutional racism present in 1931, with the guise of being the Aboriginals' protector. He seeks to breed out the third race of half Aboriginals. His antagonism is displayed through camera angles. Mr. Neville is constantly shot at low and Dutch angles throughout the film. This is especially evident in the scenes that take place in his office. These low angles place him in a dominant position in an attempt to make the viewers feel helpless like the little girls in the film. The landmark of Hanging Rock is shot in a similar way. At some points in the film, it's shot from a low angle like Mr. Neville. This idea of malice coming from the environment is not present in Rabbit Proof Fence. The portrayal of landscapes also differs in how they are sonically represented. The ambience of Picnic at Hanging Rock is designed to mesmerize the audience, adding another element to the scene rather than supplementing it, like in Rabbit Proof Fence. The score and sound effects of Picnic at Hanging Rock work in tandem to create a mystical quality when placed next to the environment. The progressive piano string gets deeper as more non-diegetic sounds are added, like the whoosh and the choir-like background drone, like you're being slowly led further into the unknown. Rabbit Proof Fence keeps a steady Aboriginal motif throughout the film. The music is low-key, adding to the ambience of the environment rather than adding additional layers to the current scene like Picnic. Picnic anthropomorphizes Hanging Rock through the camera angles. It's given mystical qualities through the soundtrack. Rabbit Proof Fence is content to display its environment with authenticity. These differences display the development of how Australian cinema views our land. Gone are the days of the uncharted outback. With time, we have explored the landscape and made it our home.